What's up, everybody? Welcome to my review of the Legacy Discs Fighter. Big thank you to my friend Chris Caulfield for sponsoring this review. You can find his channel, Aloha Disc Golf, in the description below. He's been doing disc reviews, mail calls, some epic giveaways for sure. And he's a great friend of the channel. He's given me a lot of great plastic to test and review. He's also instrumental in helping me get my first run of Disc Golf Nerd custom stamped discs. So huge thank you to Chris. Find his channel in the description below. Go check him out. Give him a subscribe. Let's get into the review. Legacy Discs Fighter. First of all, perhaps one of the coolest stamps out there as far as I'm concerned. This thing is just rad. I love the letters. It definitely has a Ryu from Street Fighter kind of vibe to the character there. You got like an octagon or a cage type thing, and some heavy bags going on in the back, and it's just super rad. This thing is beautiful, and yeah, it's pretty pearly stuff. I believe this is the Icon Edition plastic. I could be wrong on that, but I think I'm right. And just a beautiful stamp, just amazing. Really, really nice design work, very clean lines, really rad looking disc, just awesome. The Icon Edition plastic is great. It's a very nice premium plastic. It's kind of got like a almost like a Innova Star plastic type feel to it. It's got a really nice grip and feel, and it's beautiful. This thing has some pearl going on to it. I'm not sure if the camera's really picking it up, but it's, there you get a little look at it there. Not super pearly, but it is a very pretty disc overall. And again, the stamp is just, artwork is really, really cool. So I really like that. And the Icon plastic feels nice. It's got a little bit of flexibility to it. Again, feeling quite similar to Innova Star plastic if you're familiar with that. But it has a slightly more of a premium plastic feel to me. Like, it seems just like a little bit higher quality and has a really nice grip, so I love that. Let's take a look at the flight plate of this thing. Pretty flat across the top. Not like board flat, but not too far off from that. It's definitely a pretty flat disc. Here's your look at the rim profile. So after getting this thing and handling it a little bit, I knew it was going to be really overstable. I kind of just can tell by the shape of it at this point that it was going to be a little bit faster than probably like fairway, maybe a little bit faster than a fairway type speed range. I'm not exactly sure what Legacy considers the flight numbers for this thing, but it doesn't really matter to me either. 170 grams. But yeah, just based on the design, I figured it was going to be beefy. And it is. So let's take a look at it next to its principal test partner, which is the Opto Frostline Triple X from Latitude 64. Also extremely overstable disc. So you can see the Fighter definitely has a different thing going on to it. It's sharper on the outer edge there. It's a little bit deeper, I would say, as well. Maybe a little bit. Hard to say on that. And yeah, it's got that very noticeable upsweep on the underside of it. So this thing is super beefy for sure. It's very, very overstable. It's not recommended for beginners at all. I think you kind of have to know what you're doing a little bit to be able to use this disc effectively. For me, I can throw it as hard as I possibly can. It will not flip at all, and it will just kind of hold straight up to speed with a dramatic fade at the end of the flight. The first time I threw it, I was shocked at how overstable it was, and it's probably one of the most overstable discs I've ever tested. Compared to the Frostline Triple X, which is also a total meat hook, very overstable disc as well. It's faster, but honestly, I was able to kind of throw them back to back with similar results and have them landing in a pretty similar area. Like, just throw them up there on the hyzer. They're always going to finish left, and you kind of know exactly what they're going to do after a few throws. It's not a disc I need to test a whole lot to be able to review, to be honest, because it's extremely consistent. It does the same thing every time you throw it. It will go on the angle that you release it on, and when you can really keep it up to speed, but as soon as it slows down at all, it's immediately starting to fight out to the left and has a really, really strong fade to it. So not recommended for beginners, definitely more of a advanced player to high power player disc. Great forehand disc. It's something that I can throw on a little bit of a anhyzer on the forehand and it immediately comes out for me. That motion feels a little bit better for me to be able to put a little snap on a forehand. Still not much at all. It'll be more of like an approach type forehand, but I can release it on anhyzer and it'll quickly fight out and finish to the right. So I think this would be a really nice forehand disc, headwind, fairway, and just that disc you throw in the bag, and you always know it's going to be extremely overstable and do the same thing every time you throw it. That's my review on the fighter. Big thank you to Chris Caulfield for sending me this disc once again. I appreciate his support. I appreciate all of you guys. Happy to check out some more Legacy Plastic in the future. I will check you guys later. Cheers.